We found out the new All-Star format yesterday, and it is a format because it's not a game, it's another tournament. We have too many tournaments. You can only have so many tournaments in one season, and now you have a mini tournament at All-Star Weekend where you're going to have 3 All-Star teams and a Rising Stars team, and the All-Star teams will be managed by Chuck, Shaq, and Kenny, and the Rising Stars team will be managed by Candace Parker, and you'll play 2 semifinal games. The winners will meet in the championship game, and you'll play from there. And it's first to 40 in each of the games because Adam Silver saw the 397-point debacle of last season and said, never again. We have to do something that prevents this. So we will physically put it in the rules of the mini tournament. This got slammed from a response yesterday of NBA fans saying, this is not what we asked for. This is not what we want. I think that's fair, but I don't think there is anything that anybody wants. That's why I look at the NBA Cup game, and if you shifted it into an All-Star Weekend format, there could be something there. Because people are constantly grasping at fixing NBA All-Star, and I don't think NBA All-Star as we know it is fixable.
All-Star games don't matter. They're not for you, basketball purist, basketball nerd. They're for children to watch these guys run up and down the court, do highlight things, do cool things, take a bunch of ridiculous shots, go out in the backyard, emulate it, and then all of a sudden they become fans for life. So if you're over the age of 22 complaining about the All-Star format, understand it's no longer for you. Your time is come and gone. Get out of here. I will say that this is close to what I would like to see happen with the All-Star game. I don't know if y'all played this, and this is gonna sound. I'm realizing Courtney Williams might still be in the chat. We had a great conversation off air about Every Man for Himself football game in the name of that I played as a kid that I won't say on the show because we can't say that anymore.
Thank God.
But this one we called Cutthroat, and you'd end up playing basketball, be 20-something people there, and it's like, okay, everybody break up into teams of 4. So you got 20,
Cutthroat.
And so that's how we do it. So do All-Star Weekend to 40, Cutthroat style. For those of you who don't know, you get 2 teams on the court with a team off of the court, or however many teams off of the court. If you score, you stay on, and it's transition basketball. Boom, get it out the net and go. The other team runs on to the court, and then you play from there. And then if you score again, or whoever scores, the loser, the team that doesn't score, steps off the court, a new team comes on the court. I'd be okay with that. I think that would be fun. You could play to 40,
sure.
play to 60 or whatever, get up and down the court. That allows for you to get the transition dunk plays and things of that nature. You'd have dudes running onto the court from multiple sides of the court as well. Let's do that. Let's lean all the way into those basketball camp games. I feel like NBA
I haven't
All-Star
thought about Cutthroat.
should be a basketball camp type feel.
I totally agree because I haven't thought about Cutthroat in over a decade, and you just saying that took me back. If you want to satisfy the old people who are complaining, tap into nostalgia.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is, I thought about this watching the Tigers bowl game last night and just talking about bowl season in general. We have so much content today. Everybody every day has a pick of thousands upon thousands of things they can watch and spend their time consuming, or God forbid, go outside and touch grass. So many companies just rest on if we put something on, people will watch. And that is not the case. There has to be a hook. There has to be a reason for somebody, for the casual fan to choose you. I choose you. I choose you to be at the NBA Cup or bowl season or an All-Star game or the NFL is always going to get eyeballs no matter what, and they're going to put Beyonce in the middle of one of their games on Christmas, so they're going to steal a lot of eyeballs there. But you can't just throw things at the wall. And to me, this latest NBA All-Star update feels like they're just throwing something at the wall.
Until you get it figured out, that's what you have to do. Going back to the basketball camp, Devin is in the chat, king of the court, right? That's a basketball camp sort of thing. And so you can package these individual events and you could pull them almost outside of NBA All-Star Weekend and say, hey, come through and watch these. The dunk contest has kind of lost its luster. The skills competition never had that. The All-Star game.
No luster to begin with.
The All-Star game kind of is what it is at this point. So let's look at some of these NBA camp activities and games that everybody did, because everybody went to a camp. If you played basketball, you went to a camp at some point. You do a hot shot competition to go along with
knockout.
Absolutely, you do knockout. Why we don't have knockout/gotcha in this thing yet, I don't know.
And you could do dribble knockout too.
What did y'all call it?
I forget what we. God.
It might have just been dribble knockout.
No, we had a name for it.
We called it Velociraptor.
We did not call it Velociraptor, but I wish we called it.
We called it Velociraptor. Yeah.
But yeah, things like that.
You could do that. Do the king of the court thing. You got to keep the 3-point competition because that's the thing that's working from All-Star Weekend is the 3-point contest. And then maybe you say, hey, let's add 2 more stations. So we go corner, wing, top of the key, wing, corner. Now you got to sprint for the deep shots. And so you go from the deep wing shots, right? Because that's where shooting has gone because of Steph Curry. Yeah. Like then you put those 2 up and really get people energized about that as well. And then it all culminates in a game of cutthroat with your favorite all-star players doing whatever the hell they do out there. I think that's the best way to go about trying to do this. Can you imagine a knockout or a gotcha tournament that'll have like Jaren Jackson Jr. in it and Brooke Lopez and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and James Harden and just some random guy who's a fan favorite?
Jay Huff.
Jay Huff is in it for some
strange reason. Is Jay Huff
reason.
too old to be in the Rising Stars Challenge?
Yes.
Damn it.
How old is he? He looks too old.
I know he looks too old.
I don't know if he's actually too old.
He's only 27. He's too old to be a rising star, but he's my rising star.
27-year-old rising star.
Can you imagine?
I can. He should be there, but no, he's way too old to be one of those.
That's unfortunate.
But yeah, no, like you can have fun doing things like that.
And even if you did those kind of camp games, and then because I'm trying to make the NBA Cup championship game matter too. Like the NBA Cup championship game should never ever have to go up against the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl.
They could. It should have been Saturday. That's when that should have been
Saturday. Why is it on a Tuesday? Why? Their court looked good. Mm-hmm. I liked their court last night. The visuals of it looked good. But I also think like I would love for the semifinal games to be not played in Vegas, to be played on home courts, to give that kind of environment, and then have maybe just the championship game, not in Vegas, but a part of the All-Star experience. Because then you're putting it all, you're not asking people to be really, really excited about the NBA Cup and All-Star Weekend, and neither of them are like astoundingly interesting to the casual fan who is still very much ingrained in the football season. But at that point, they might be. And so you push the NBA Cup of it all into late January, early February. I don't know. I just think there's some creativity, some ingenuity that can happen. It won't happen this year, so these are all future conversations now.
Could you do NBA Cup games? Because that's the whole point of the NBA Cup is to try and get people tuned in early in the season. Could you do the Cup games early in the season and then have the championship in February during All-Star Weekend?
I think so. I don't think there's any reason.
I think so, too.
Yeah. If you're going to play it on a random Tuesday, why can't you play it deeper into the year?
You've got to get a day for these Cup games.
Yeah.
You can get 2 days. You got to do an Eastern Conference day for Cup games and a Western Conference day for Cup games. And make it an event so that everybody knows, okay, this is the event. We're up for it. It's Tuesday. It's Thursday. I know Eastern Conference Cup games. I know Western Conference Cup games, and really generate the energy because it was just so random when the games were.
I know. And it's going to be, I was thinking about this yesterday. If the NFL adds another week to the season, those greedy gumdrops.
They should add another week. They need double buys. They've got to get a bye after those.
But do they really need one more game? Oh, so you think they should add a week and add double buys?
Yeah, double buys.
I don't think they're going to do that.
Give you a bye going into your Thursday night football game.
I wish they would.
I can't keep watching you go from Sunday to Thursday.
Horrible Thursday night football
That's
game?
just not good.
Yeah.
That's bad product.
If they did add, though, then there has been Roger Goodell has said this, like the hope of getting the Super Bowl to President's Day weekend, because then you could play it on either Super Bowl Sunday and then Monday's a holiday for most people. Not for us. We would be here talking about it. Where it goes up against the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
I think that's what you would do. And then coin flip of which all-star event cares more. And if you have the NBA Cup attached to it, then there's also like a game that matters attached. Right.